Lokar Performance is at Sam's Garage to demo their throttle cable mounting bracket with return spring. The kit includes short and long brackets to allow the use of different throttle stops and cable styles. There is no doubt this kit will ensure drivers will always see green lights on the Christmas tree.
I'm Jeff Walls. I'm the Chief Strategy Officer at Lokar, part of the family business. One of the things we do, we drag race.
Awesome. So the next few episodes, we're going to be showing you guys some of the cool products that Lokar has developed for you drag racers. A lot of safety parts out there and a lot of things that allows you to go out there and race and be noticeable, like the dial indicators on the back of these cars. It's going to be a great few episodes, so make sure you guys stay tuned. We're going to get started with what on this one?
We're going to hook up our throttle bracket linkage system. Helps you run either a throttle stop or just make sure your throttle cable is much more stable and in line and set up for you every time you make a pass. You're going to run an index class, and if you're going to run 890 or 990 index and super gas, super comp, you're going to need a throttle stop. And now you're allowed to have throttle enhancers where all you have to focus on is reaction time, and you don't have to worry about trying to get your pedal to the floor for a pro tree release. So if you don't mind, can you go ahead and lift this up? We've got the bolts off the carburetor already. Leave the fuel lines on. We're going to go straight up. We're going to slip this in here. We've got our gasket ready and everything. And we can run this linkage either way. So this carburetor's set up to run the linkage straight down the car there. You go ahead and set her down and line that up, and we'll bolt this baby down, and then we'll start adding the brackets.
Awesome.
If you're running without a throttle enhancer or a throttle stop, we have a short bracket that you can put here. We're going to run the long bracket, and that's going to give you the distance to run that linkage farther back and support the throttle cable this far away. People are hanging brackets off the sides of carburetors. This one's supported by the carburetor being bolted down itself. Prevents anything from bending, breaking, or twisting. You know, you put a lot of PSI into that cylinder having to close the blades of the throttle on its own. You know, so to do that as quick and as consistent as you want, you need something to support it. And that's what happens here. A lot of those kits, they don't come with all the parts you need. You have to buy them in pieces. This, everything's included in the kit.
So the good thing about this is you can actually adjust the spring pressure with the return springs that we have here.
And that's what's going to close the throttle body.
Yeah,
Right.
so
Even though that's a push-pull cable for emergency type situations, this will give you your pedal feel.
when we run a double loop spring, it gives it enough power to pull back these heavier blades. These engines have enough draw through the intake. It'll suck those blades wide open, top into the track. People don't have anything to pull that back.
Are you serious?
It'll leave it wide open on someone and they don't really know it. So
That's not good,
It's
Sam.
even a
That's
safety
not
thing.
good.
This attachment point and the attachment point here, this is actually a little bit lower. So the attachment point has to be higher because it actually goes into an arc. You can't get wide open throttle if it's even. If the 2 points are even, because it actually goes in an arc, about 7/8 throttle, you can't get any more because you can't pull straight.
We also make these kits for your 4150 style carburetors for your street cars. So while you may not be running a throttle enhancer that you're trying to stabilize at this distance, it's still good to stabilize your throttle cables, your kickdown and cruise control cables feeding into that whole system so that everything travels through the correct arcs, the correct path.
That's a really cool product, Jeff. Now this is going to give you safety and consistency, right?
Absolutely. And holds everything together and looks good too.
Let's see what it looks like with the hood on there.
Right.
That looks pretty nice. Now we're going to be taking the hood back off of it because we're going to be installing more Lokar Performance products on this dragster. So join us next week to check us out with Lokar Performance.
Sam, that's not a hood, that's a scoop.
Whatever, you know what I mean.